I'm Karis. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for coming back. In this video, we're going to be talking all about pregnancy, specifically tips around pregnancy for first-time moms. If you are not a first-time mom, you can obviously still watch this video. And I actually got a lot of these tips from my Instagram followers. So if you don't follow me over on Instagram, make sure you do. I'm very active on there. But I have quite a bit of a mom community that follows me. So I put up an Instagram question box and asked them, what are some of your tips for first-time moms who are going through pregnancy? And they gave me so many great things. I have about 20 things on my phone here that I'll be talking about. So yeah, I hope you find this video helpful. To give you a little background, I'm currently pregnant with twins. This is my first pregnancy. I knew nothing about pregnancy going into this. It was a surprise pregnancy. My husband and I got pregnant about a month and a half after we got married. It was a really hard first trimester, and it was a lot. And I wasn't excited about it in the beginning. I've talked all about it in other videos, but long story short, I'm doing so much better. I've learned a lot. I still have so much more to learn, but I wanted to do this video because I remember in my first trimester thinking, what should I be expecting for the remaining of this pregnancy? They don't teach you these kinds of things at school. So anyways, I hope you find this video helpful. Okay, so let's get right into it. This is not in any specific order. I'm just gonna share it with you as I have it down on my phone. The first one is make sure you take prenatals. So this was the very first thing I was told when I found out I was pregnant. It was, okay, go ahead and take prenatals. And if you're not actually pregnant and you're trying to get pregnant, some people recommend to actually go ahead and take prenatals now, even before your pregnancy. This just makes sure that you have all your nutrition and everything your body needs to make sure that your babies are healthy. And I remember stressing over what prenatal to choose because there's so many options. And my doctor was like, it's okay. She told me of the few things that I need to make sure my prenatals have, but she was like, a lot of the ones that are out there have everything you need. So don't stress yourself out about it. This one is something follower of mine said, and that is to travel and do fun things with your spouse. So, I wish I could have done that, but honestly, for the first 3 months, I could not travel because I was so sick. But my husband and I, we've definitely tried to be more intentional about our quality time because we know that we're gonna be pretty busy with kids once they do get here. If you can stomach it, eat food, take your vitamins, and listen to your body. Now, I say if you can stomach it because my first trimester, there was not a lot of food being eaten because I would throw up everything. I survived on protein shakes because at least when I would throw up, it didn't hurt as much because it was just protein shakes. But in my second trimester, I really tried to eat food, and I've really tried to eat food that's good for me. I'm not trying to be like a health freak, but I noticed, and as you get into your second trimester, you get these cravings, a lot of sugars and sweets that you want to eat. But I actually noticed when I would fill my body with that kind of stuff, I would feel fatigued at night and just like nauseous. So I cut down a lot on giving in to those types of cravings as often so that I could fuel my body with good nutrition, which would actually then help me feel better later on in the evenings. Okay, next one. Don't spend a lot of money on maternity clothes. One thing I personally did was I tried to find outfits that I know I can still wear after pregnancy. Even some of the maternity clothes that I bought, I feel like I can still wear them after I give birth because they're just things that stretch out with you. But yeah, I don't think it's necessary to go and purchase a lot of clothes, but I did go ahead and purchase some because I still wanted to be able to dress up and feel like myself. I didn't want to just wear oversized tees all the time. Next tip, don't let people pressure, scare, or shame you for your medical choices. So true. There's a lot of opinions out there, but do your research, and at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter what people think. It's your choice. Don't wish it away. As soon as the baby's born, you'll miss them living inside you. If you told me that in the first trimester, I would be like, yeah, right, okay, whatever. Because first trimester was rough. But I can see what people mean now that I'm in my second trimester, feeling better, just feeling them kick and stuff. It is such a beautiful experience, and it's good to take it all in and not wish it away. This next one, easier said than done, but don't overthink. Yeah, that's hard. Especially if you're a planner, if you just want to have everything done and figured out, it's hard not to overthink. If possible, try to keep exercising. Personally, I was pretty active before pregnancy. I grew up playing sports and played college volleyball and everything, but I couldn't exercise the way I was able to back in the day when I got pregnant. But I have done a lot more just walking around, going for walks. I'm just very intentional to just do things around the house so that I can always at least be moving. I'm not getting a hardcore sweat exercise in, but I'm keeping my body moving. Stay hydrated. Drink electrolytes. This one is so important. I did not want to drink anything in the first trimester because I had like water aversion half the time, which I had no idea was a thing. Some stuff they just don't tell you about pregnancy, which I've actually done a video on things they don't tell you about pregnancy if you want to go watch that after this video. But it is really important to stay hydrated, which means you will end up having to pee a lot, but it's okay. Your body needs to be hydrated. As for electrolytes, you can add electrolytes and stuff to your water. Personally, I've been trying to find electrolytes that I like, but I just don't. Like, I like to drink water and taste water. I don't like tasting any flavorings. So I don't know. You can add salt to it, or you can just try to focus on just drinking water and not worry too much about electrolytes. Okay, next tip. Look into after birth cramps before having baby. They are the worst surprise. This is another one from a follower of mine. Okay, see, I didn't even know that was a thing. After birth cramps, after having baby. I thought all the pain you experience would happen as you're giving birth. So look into that if this is your first pregnancy. Next one, get a pregnancy pillow. Yes, at first I thought this was kind of like one of those things people were being dramatic about, but now that I'm getting bigger, I'm realizing it's actually really handy. I personally use one from a brand called Sleepy Belly. I can link them down below, and actually I think I have a discount code that y'all can use. I'll have that in the description. But I specifically went with that brand because you can rearrange the pillows that they give you into different shapes and stuff depending on the way you want to sleep and whatnot. So I like that versus just a pillow that's set in one position, if that makes sense. Okay, next pregnancy tip for first-time mom. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Yeah, this one's a good one. I had to ask for a lot of help in the first trimester because I could do like nothing, and it's just part of it. And now, you know, having twins especially, like my husband and I are relying a lot on family members and friends to come and help us, and there's nothing wrong with that. Next tip, you'll get a lot of advice, but no one knows your body like you do, so go with what you feel is right. I cannot emphasize that enough. One thing about being pregnant is a lot of people have opinions about it, and if you go on social media, there's like so many different opinions, even just about giving birth, C-section, natural birth, home birth, epidural, no epidural. There's so much. And it's so overwhelming because you wanna make sure you're doing the right thing. But at the end of the day, you have to go with what you feel comfortable with because it's your baby, it's your body. You know yourself better than anyone else. So if you're like me especially and you like to research things, sometimes it can get pretty overwhelming because there's just a lot of opinions out there. So try to just come back to what you know and what feels right to you. This is a good one, that is take naps often. Especially if this is your first pregnancy, you don't have any kids yet. You don't have to worry about having to take care of a toddler and stuff, so take advantage of that. I know I definitely have been, and I think I'm definitely going to be taking more advantage of it as I get closer to the end because I'm starting to feel a little bit more and more tired now that I'm entering my third trimester. Okay, this one I cannot even emphasize it enough, and that is talk about your fears surrounding birth. And I would take that even a step further and just say talk about your fears surrounding everything, surrounding your pregnancy, surrounding parenthood, all of it. Talk about it because it is so important to make sure you get your feelings out and you work through these fears so you can be better prepared for the next stage of life. For example, I would not be sitting here making this video and talking to you all if I had not done some crazy intense therapy during my first trimester days. I remember in my first trimester just going to my therapist and talking to her about all the fears I had about pregnancy, about giving birth, about being a mom, and it was so good that I talked out all those feelings because I was able to work through them properly. I was able to find out why I felt the way I felt and how I can get past those fears and be in the place where I'm at today. And I'm not saying I'm prepared and I feel fixed or whatever, but I am definitely in a much better place. And I genuinely believe that's because I was willing to talk about those fears. Go with the flow. Things never go as expected anyways. As a planner, that's hard for me to hear, but it is true. Right now I'm thinking a lot about like birth plans, and everybody's like, you know, you can write out the most crazy in-depth birth plan, but just go into it knowing that it may go as planned, but it may not go as planned. So just be ready for that throughout pregnancy. This is another one that I'm about to implement, and that is belly band supports make a huge difference. So right now my belly's getting huge and I'm starting to feel the weight of it all. So I'm definitely going to start looking into belly bands. Your body will change. Yeah, it does. And it's so weird to watch your body change in front of your eyes. I wake up every morning and I'm like, I can't believe I just have a bump. And some days I feel beautiful, but other days I'm like, I just feel ridiculous right now. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. Some days I just can't believe that my body has changed this much in less than a year. And then other days I'm like, wow, my body is so strong. I can't believe it is currently housing 2 babies. And so wherever you are, just know that you're valid and feeling whatever you must be feeling. All right, this one is a big one, and one I definitely struggled with, and that is be patient with yourself. Pregnancy can be hard. This is so true. I think sometimes we don't realize how hard pregnancy can be, because when we see other people who are pregnant, we see the really, really good moments, the happy moments, the maternity pictures, the announcement posts, the gender reveals, and you just think that must be how all of pregnancy is, and it's not at all. So go easy on yourself. And don't feel guilty for having those hard days. Instead, work through those emotions. Don't just harbor it all inside, because you never know how that might manifest later on. You don't have to pretend like you're happy. Be real with how you're feeling and work through those emotions. And eventually in your pregnancy, hopefully, you'll get to the part where you also get to experience the joys of it all too. Last one, every pregnancy and baby is different, so don't compare yourself. That kind of goes hand in hand with the last tip that I just said, but it's so true. Every pregnancy is different. Even women who have had multiple kids have told me my 3rd pregnancy was so much easier than my 4th or my 1st or whatever. Every pregnancy is different. Every child is different. So we're not being very fair to ourselves if we're sitting here comparing our pregnancy with somebody else's pregnancy. Again, pregnancy can be hard. We often see the glamorized version of it on socials and in life in general. And I think it's beautiful. I think it's so cool that our bodies are able to do this. And there are so many women who can't experience this. So I'm grateful that I get to be one of these women who get to experience pregnancy. But that doesn't mean you have to just suck it up and be okay with all of these hardships that do come along the way. So if you're a first-time mom, I hope this encourages you. I hope this helps you know that you're not crazy if you do feel some of these feelings that I've mentioned in the video. If you found this video helpful, I've done a few other pregnancy-related videos. You can go check those out. I will link them in the description down below. And don't forget to follow me over on Instagram as well. Yeah, that's it for today. Until next time, bye.